Okay. Let's try this. I should be able to see myself, and I'm going to call Geoff. Okay.
There was a time when the sea gave way to the sky, raising an amazing destination like no other. Atlantis. Where legends are born.
Alright, I had to watch the ad too, so I apologize. And Geoff, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hey, nice to meet you. So where are you streaming from?
I'm in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay, yeah. I've got family from Youngstown, so not too far from you.
Okay, yeah, that sounds fun.
Very cool. Alright, so sounds like we've got it figured out, and I think people can hear us because I can hear it on the Twitch stream. I don't have access to Moobot, but we can figure that out in a minute. Because there's a cool way you can actually like send polls and chat with people in the chat room. So that would be nice to have.
Oh yeah, for the music and everything too?
Yeah. That part I did not get set up, unfortunately. But so, yeah, if you want to share a little bit about who you are and kind of where you are and the challenges and all that good stuff.
Yeah, right now I'm finished with all the challenges, all the bonfires. I'm just kind of helping out here and there where I can. I'm just waiting for one of the nonprofits, but I think I'm pretty far back in line for that.
Cool. Yeah, it sounds like they're picking up and doing a lot of work getting more organizations to sign on, so that's great, and hopefully get everyone matched up soon. So, well, cool. I'm going to see if I can get the Moobot figured out.
I tried turning my volume up. They said they couldn't hear me. I don't know if it's any louder now.
Okay. Well, we can jump right in. Please turn up his volume. Okay. Let's get his volume sorted out. Alright, if you just want to say something, then we can kind of figure out where you're at.
Is it any louder now?
Hopefully.
Better, hopefully. Okay.
Okay. Keep talking a little bit.
Yep. Talking. Is it
Okay.
any louder? Better?
At least on my end, it looks about similar. So hopefully that'll help. All right. Let's jump in. Do you have a favorite bonfire? Perfect.
Let me take a look.
Thanks, Quincy.
It's been a couple of days since I've done them. I don't remember all of them. But I just start off with the easier ones and just kind of go through them one by one.
That sounds
I
good.
think a lot of people get up on the easy ones and don't really get past them.
That sounds good. And I always learn stuff too. Like, forget who it was. Someone was talking about, using functional programming and stuff like that I'd never heard of. So I always really enjoy learning from other people and seeing how they did it. I think that's half the fun. So,
yeah, I was working with another guy earlier on them, and he did every challenge completely different from mine, but they all worked out.
Well, let's do that. We'll just do this first one. Do you want to start with reverse a string and then we can jump around?
Sure, that's fine.
And you can type on my screen. Can you see everything on my screen all right?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Will it change where you click if I click it?
It'll just be like I clicked it, but it won't completely prevent me from clicking stuff. So it's just like there's two mice Mies.
Oh, okay.
Moosin. Oh, perfect. So did you want to do reverse to string or actually jump ahead to some of the other ones? I think these had been done in stream. And so these have not. So if you want to jump ahead and do where art thou, we can do that.
We can do that.
Okay.
You just want to take turns doing them, or I'm not sure how most people do it.
Yeah, I'm still getting used to the pair aspect too, because everyone does do it differently. And it's what's interesting to me is kind of how you work with different people. Like sometimes a structured kind of I'm going to do this and you're going to do this works really well, and other times I've had to be a little, because I'm more of a please tell me like where the boxes are, so I can check them. But sometimes you have to be a little more flexible to kind of go with it. So I'm cool with whatever, and we can probably just figure out what works best here.
Okay.
Trying to get Jason to help me out with getting MooBot set up. I don't know how I forgot about that, but anyway. Cool. So if you want to read the description.
Okay, yeah. So this one is where art thou? Make a function that looks through a list, first argument, and returns an array of all objects that have equivalent property values, second argument. Those are new.
Those are new.
So it looks like we need to use has on property and check for the keys. So I think we need to find every object in this array that has the same key as the one given. So the way I do it just the easiest way and do a regular for loop. I know a lot of people use map or filter or whatever else there is for functional programming, but I think I just do it the easy way. Select all of them.
Are you doing the MongoDB course?
No.
I just saw you typed where, and that's one of the queries is like where x equals y or whatever.
Oh yeah, I was doing some Mongo stuff, but not through the course. Okay. Let's see. I guess I could just check all the keys first.
So can you iterate through objects with number keys? Like an array?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
So I was reading today, I think JavaScript the good parts. This is actually in the appendix, which is called JavaScript the awful parts or something like that. But he was talking about how arrays are really just objects, and there's some confusion in there.
Yeah, it looks like you can with objects without keys. You probably just use that, and then put in whatever the index is. Let me run this, see if we have multiple keys. Can't remember if we do or not. Yeah, so we'll have more than one key.
In the comparison object or the collection?
In the source, I think.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
A and B.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would just check for the first one, but... Otherwise, I would just check for the first one. But...
Whoops. Trying to get the stream running on my phone so I can see if there's any messages in the chat room. There we go.
Check this again real quick. Turn an array of properties.
Yeah, and that's a helpful thing to know if you don't mind going back. The part where on object keys, there's a little note where it says the for in loop. Do you mind if I go back here for a second?
Yeah, that's fine.
The for in loop goes over properties in the prototype chain as well. So if you have an object that you created but it inherits from something else, there may be stuff on there that you don't realize is there. So it's helpful that they have these methods get own properties as opposed to the ones that it may have gotten from other objects.
Let me just try and see if this works here. I'm not sure if it will, but... Oh, no, I need a loop again, I think, to go through all of these different keys.
Yeah, because you're looping through the array of objects, and then for each object, you've got to dive into the keys and their properties as well.
Yeah. Oops, that's an X. Let's see. I think that should work.
Collection E key. Where's your E coming from?
Oh, I keep changing variable names, and I forgot it. That should be an X.
Ah, okay.
And then get this out. Keys. Maybe.
Oh, nice! One test.
Yeah.
I love when that happens.
I can go over it, just so everybody...
Yeah, that'd be great.
So the first thing we do is loop over everything in the array, and then in each one we go through, like so for the first one we'll have this. Then we're also going to loop over every key in this. And then if this key exists in this, then we'll continue on and check if the actual value is the same. If it is, push it into this empty array, then we're all done, return the array that we have left. Looks like we have a little error there. And that's about it.
Nice and straightforward. Definitely works for me. I think I'm trying to remember how I did it. I know they're saved somewhere. I need to go back and look. I know you can use filter as well.
I know they are saved if you go to like the freeCodeCamp API.
Right.
There's not really any formatting.
Yeah, that can make it hard. Interglobal Media thinks she's mentioned that the code is a little hard to see, so I wonder, I'm going to try and make it a little bigger and see if that helps. Can you please do the palindromes bonfire next?
Let's see. Palindromes. These object.keys, you don't need has on property. Yeah, that's true. I guess I didn't need to do that. I just kind of jump around to different things. But it's also just the first rewrite, though, too.
It's always fun on the live code stream. You get people, especially if you start really going off the cliff and they try and call you back. No, don't use that function.
Oh, yeah.
Always have really helpful insights. It's, sometimes it's good to get somebody's head who's not in it right now, to try and...
Sometimes we can go a little too far into it and forget where we are.
Yeah. I tend to be stubborn. I think, I know I want to solve it with this method, so I have to. That's not necessarily true.
I'm sure it could be done easier with, a map or something, but I just haven't used those too much to really know all the ins and outs of them with map or filter.
Filter is super useful. Do you want to try doing this one with filter and see what might be different?
I could try, but I don't really know filter, so it would probably take me a long time to do it.
I can get it started. I think once you see it, you'll realize it's pretty straightforward. But yeah, so basically you call it on an array. So our collection is an array. And you pass in a callback function, and there's 3 arguments you can pass into that function, which are value, index, and I think the third one is a this argument. It'd probably be good to look this up before we dive in too deeply. Wait a minute. Oh, I didn't put that one on here for the MDN.
Yeah, those links are super useful.
It's tricky too, though, because you could have 8 links on here. You know what I mean? And then definitely don't want to give the person the impression you need to use all of these things. To solve the problem.
It's kind of fun to end up using all 3 of the links you gave and nothing else, though.
Well, that's good. Let's see, value.
It wasn't even really intentional. It just kind of happened that way.
Let's see. Oh, I guess there's not a this argument. Okay, I'm glad I looked. The array of the object being traversed. Or array object being traversed. Oh, if this is provided, it will be passed to the callback. Well, we don't need to do that here. I usually just use value and index. But what that gives you access to inside the callback is each item as you go over it. But then, so how filter works is if you return a truthy value, it will keep it, and if you return a falsy value, it will throw it out. And does it make a new array? Yes, it does. Does not mutate the array on which it's called. Yeah, creates a new array. So you've got to store it in a new variable.
Okay. The value would be the actual object then. So you would just do value dot keys.
Yep. You can kind of see what it prints out here. I console log everything. Then I have to go back, when I make pull requests, and go back and delete all of the console logs because there's way too many of them.
Yeah.
Yep, so first object, index, second object, index, third object, index. So it's just an easy way to get at everything, which is super handy. Let me check the chat. I'll come back to that in a second. So you do return in here, and so you want to keep the ones. You have to decide what you want to keep. So we want to keep the objects that have equivalent property values. So we want somehow a test for that will return truthy, and then those will be kept. I also really like saying truthy because there's no other situation in my life where that makes sense. So let's see. Equivalent property values. So you can jump in and help me here because you just did this, so it's fresher in your head. You use has own property.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then how would you check for the value of that property?
You would do like the value, and then you could put the key inside brackets if you don't know what it is. So if you're looping over it, you could just use whatever variable you're using.
Okay, so you put can you say that again? So return if the value has own property index. So how would we know what the first one is, I guess, is the thing we've got to figure out, the first property.
Yeah, I think you might have to do another loop inside of there. You might be able to do another filter. You might have something weird happening with this, but I don't really know. That's where it gets kind of tricky, why I usually just use regular loops.
Let's see, we can figure out, for this object, we really just need to get the key. And once we get the key, we can access the value, right? So, let's see. I guess there's get keys, yeah. Turns an array. I guess we don't know that it's only one key. So if we can write a flexible function that does for more than one, so we should probably handle the array. It'd be easier if you knew it was one.
Yeah, because I think some of those tests definitely have more than one.
Let's see, someone's mic has some weird feedback. Thanks, RX Ouchie. Hope it's not mine. I'll move it a little further away. I also have a cold, so I sound really pitiful. Chris Barrios, map filter for the wind. Yes.
Yeah, I think once I learn it, I'll probably use it all the time. But I've only used it only a handful of times. I'm not real confident in it, especially with the world to watch right now.
Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking, isn't it? Hi, everyone. It gets easier. I remember the first time I streamed, I was so nervous, and then I was like, this is ridiculous. There's no one in my room. I'm just talking to myself.
Yeah. Mine has feedback. I'm not sure why. I'm using headphones.
Huh, interesting. Oh. Whenever he speaks, it's crazy. Huh. Okay.
I could try turning the microphone down. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, I'll turn you down here too. Because I've got headphones on, so it's not coming back through mine.
Is that better? It might be too quiet now.
There's like a 10-second lag too, so we'll get feedback on the change in about 5 seconds. Someone else said, where did it go? They had a helpful comment, and I lost it. Oh, Yasky J said the third argument is the collection itself into filter. Thanks for that.
Is that if you just don't want to use this, you can use the collection name instead?
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, I'd be curious if you don't call it like a method, I guess. I'm curious how that works. It isn't feedback. It sounds like a sound sample buffering problem. I wouldn't worry too much about it. From Danny Fritz. Micklack says that's because he is alien. All fine with the mic. We'll try and get that worked out, but okay. Quiet now, but not better.
I could turn your volume down for me. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's going through the headphones into the speaker.
Oh, too much feedback.
Or is that better?
Well, we can press on. Keys equals source dot keys. So we'll have an array of that. So we can loop through that array. I less than keys dot length. I plus plus. So for every key, we want to check both if the collection, no, the value, because we have one at a time. If value at keys dot
I think you're going to have multiple values though, aren't you? Oh, never mind. No, you got it, never mind.
Yeah, that may be a confusing variable too. That's another thing. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of stuff when you name them not well. Object.keys at source from Jared 314. Don't mind my rambling. It's not rambling. Nobody really wants someone to scream in their ear. Object.keys source. Where's the source coming from? Oh, I see. That, thank you. So that is a global object method. This is why I like streaming. Everyone catches all of your mistakes. So if value at keys.I is the same as source, actually we can just say return, because if that's true, it'll keep it in the array. I'm not confident it's going to run like yours did the first time. Cannot read property 0 of undefined. Something, let's see, property 0, keys. Let's see what we get here. Please feel free to jump in.
Are you wanting to check against source or against the keys?
What I'm trying to do is pick.
Last return.
Yeah, I'm trying to, and maybe this isn't the best way to do it. I'm trying to figure out for each of these keys, which we only have one. So okay, for last, if that might be what's happening. I should be as own property. Trying to figure out, does this object have a key called last, and does it have the same value as this one? But it's returning an error.
Do you know where you're getting that error at?
I'm guessing because value is not undefined, or keys isn't undefined rather. I'm guessing it's because the first value doesn't have. No, it would. The last property. But the second one doesn't. Or it doesn't have a. Now I'm confusing myself. Danny Fritz says value.keys is undefined and you are accessing 0. So do you think this would help? Well, it's a different error. Jared314 is suggesting that we look at the keys on each value as we go through and maybe compare that way.
So you have an array of keys, and then you're looping over the collection, and then looping over the keys given. And then returning if the value key is equal to source keys I. You could try it in like a node. I think it might give a better error. Sometimes the error handling isn't that great. It's just undefined, no line number or anything.
It just keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. Or Replit is a helpful tool that Vince in New Jersey introduced me to. Hi Vince, if you're there. I hope you got to go surfing recently. We were talking, I like to ski and he likes to surf, and this was like 2 months ago when it was freezing cold, and I was kind of like, oh dear, that just sounds miserable. Really fun, but really cold.
Oh, while he was surfing 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I wouldn't be doing that.
Whoa, what just happened? Hello. Nothing. Oh, Danny Fritz says, that's not an error. Alien base. I think that's what that is. You aren't returning anything from your function. That's very true. Okay. Yeah, well, we're not actually running it here either. That would probably help.
Well, that's not good.
It's still logging that keys for us.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. RX Alchi says you're looping through your source object and not the collection.
Oh, yeah, well, you're not returning ARR. I think you just take off that and then return the whole collection, not filter.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. Hey! I like when it's something simple. It makes me feel like maybe we do understand the problem.
Yeah.
Yes!
There we go.
Awesome. Thanks for all the help, guys, on the chat.
Yeah, they were more help than I was.
That's the beauty of it. Like, I'm super stubborn, so when I first started learning how to program, I was like, I don't need help. I'm going to do it myself. I'm a girl. And then, you know, you learn really fast that that's not the right way to do it. And it's, I've been humbled, I think, in a lot of ways by that, but it's been a good thing, and I think I've learned more when you accept help. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's also kind of just the good thing about JavaScript in general, I think, is your answer and my answer were completely different, but they both worked.
So now we learned something. Yeah, it's great. But yeah, if you want to type your name in, I know you've already done all the bonfires too, but it's my account, so I'll already get credit.
Oh, my username. What's my username?
I think it's whatever you sign into freeCodeCamp with. Like, I sign in with Twitter, so if I type in my Twitter name, that's what works for me.
Well, let's see. I use my GitHub, maybe my email.
I think it's just your handle. Like, just Storbeck. I don't think you do @Gmail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep, that looks right.
Yeah, so my husband was asking me, is like, do you call those your camp names? You know, like your, you have your camp name when you go to camp, right? So I think that's a good idea. We should call them our camp names.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, we did Where Art Thou? I can't click these. So, oh, I don't have access to this. That's okay. Sum all numbers and arrange.
That'd be a good one. That one actually gave me some issue, not because of it was challenging, but because I think the wording was not that great.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so this one says you pass two numbers, return the sum of these two numbers and all numbers between them. The lowest number will not come first.
That part was tricky.
Yeah, so the issue I had was I thought, okay, maybe it'll just give us, longer ones. We add all those together, but it's actually like 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Mm-hmm, right.
Which I had to ask. I didn't really get that at first. So, let's see, reduce, map, and then this one I just sorted the array first, and then worked on it like normal.
Oh, that's so smart. I had like 10 lines of code trying to figure out the biggest one.
Oh, yeah.
That's so much easier.
I don't know if I did it the right way, but it worked easy. Oh, try and find it.
What are you looking for? I'm sorry.
Oh, nothing. I was just trying to remember how to do the sort. I think I can remember that.
Oh, okay. I thought you were looking for. Let's say, feel free to go to MDN or whatever.
Yep.
Yasky J, what's the URL for the bonfire list? I'm using a link that Quincy sent me for Trello, but I know there's a way to look at them either through the GitHub repo. It's the seed data bonfires. And then I think actually JSONify, I know, did a project on that, and I think he posted it in Camper News. I can't remember where that is, but I'll try and find that.
I think this is right. Maybe. No, that's not right. I always have to look that up. It's so simple, but I always forget it.
What's the greater than? What's it, or?
I think it might be less or subtract. Let me check real quick. I can't believe I haven't had this memorized yet. It's such a simple thing.
Oh, it doesn't work. He changed his name. Okay. Interesting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. It was just Oh, right. I don't. Where did I get right from?
That's why that's what I was trying to figure out. Okay, that makes more sense.
And let me just test this really quick. Oops. What is this?
Missing semicolon. Sort.
Oh, function. Yeah.
Okay, callback function. Jared posted his attempt at Where Art Thou. I can't see the link on my phone, but someone says he uses array.every. So I definitely want to go check that out. Thanks for following us, Mitternatex.
Okay.
Glad to have you. Hope I didn't butcher your screen name.
Did that work?
So I didn't know you could pass arguments into sort. When I do sort, it normally just kind of sorts them in place. And then Jared says, watch out for array.sort with numbers because by default it converts them to strings, which I did not know.
I think this might. This thing's a little slow, so everybody kind of lags when I move the mouse.
Yeah, it is a little frustrating when it's not your computer on the screen share.
Why do I have... Oh wait, no, that wouldn't make sense.
Okay, I think I've seen this implementation before.
Oh, I guess length wouldn't work either because they're just numbers. Okay,
1, 4, 5. Oh, okay. So if you could do b minus a and it would do it backwards, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. It's definitely good to know.
So, I think. No. Let's try about. I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but a quick and easy way.
I think the better way is the way that we can do it without errors, whatever that is.
Hopefully I can do that. Hopefully this works. Maybe?
Length is not defined.
Oh. Oh, yeah, I don't need length. I need a list dot length.
Dot length, yeah. Zero. It's not adding anything. Sum plus equals list to I. For I listen. You could just do list.length. You don't have to do list and then list. Sorry, I don't know why I said it 4 times.
Oh, yeah. You're right, yeah. Whoops. I can spell it right.
And you don't do curly brackets, which does that have any effect?
Usually do, but
Okay, I didn't know you couldn't do that.
yeah, if you just have one, then you don't need it.
Sum plus equals list to I. Interesting. Maybe we should console log and see what it's accessing.
Yeah, I can do that. I should be able to do control enter, but never used it.
I want to get rid of this. 4.
Oh, it should be 5. Oh, less than that equal to, I think, maybe.
Oh, you know what? I misspoke. You were right. Because what you were doing is you were basically making I up to the value of list at 1. So you could just do list at 1. Because list.length is only going to give you 2 items in the array, which should still give you a sum of 1, so that's strange. But does that make sense?
Yeah. This, I don't know why it's skipping the first one. Let's see if anybody in the chat if I've done anything stupid. Oh, I guess not.
So I was saying you could do lists at 1, because you only have 2 values, but then your I would still be iterated that many times.
Do you list at what?
Do you mind if I type?
Sure, but
So list at 0 right now is 1, and then list at 1 is 4, and so you're trying to get I to go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I assumed there's going to be more than one, but I guess you're right, there's not. There's always going to be 2.
Well, mentally I think we're working with an array with like 4 elements, but there's only 2 there, so that you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
No.
Yeah, I've got to do it a different way then. I can't use the for loop.
Not a number. Wonder if that's because of the sort and what.
Well, it's only going to loop it twice, so that's not going to work at all. I can do this another way though. Oops, that's not tabbed right.
What's up, humanoidism? I like your screen name. Cloaker's bot, we're using Screen Hero to share the screen. I'm assuming you're asking about the screen sharing. And for broadcasting, we use OBS, and I don't really know much about OBS, to be honest, but
so this should work. I'll run it locally just in case I don't crash your browser with a while loop.
I think actually it's set up so that there's a safety break on it. Like it only lets the stack get so big. Yeah.
Okay.
6. So 1, 2, 3. It's just missing the 4, I think.
Oh, okay. So just do there's probably a better way to do this, but it's okay.
Awesome.
There we go. That's definitely not elegant by any means, but it'll work.
It works.
You can always rewrite it.
Sorry?
So we could always rewrite it if you wanted to take a stab at it.
Sure. Because I think I did it with recursion, but I had a problem trying to figure out the max. Like the recursion part was like 2 lines or something, and then the rest was figuring out which number was bigger, which seemed really silly. Danny Fritz says the bonfire times out after like 1 second. Yeah, super helpful. Humanoidism says you guys could use map.
Yeah, I don't think we can use map or reduce unless we already have created the array of every number between the start and end.
Right.
Otherwise, it'll just be like how we had it before, where it didn't really work.
That is a way to do it, though. Basically generate an array and then do, yeah, people are saying in chat, do a reduce on that.
You could, but I mean, if you're already generating an array, you might as well just add them up instead of running in a loop twice.
So how did I do this? Okay, these were things I learned about after the fact. Returns the largest of 0 or more numbers. So, it's a static method of math. Alright, can you pass in an array? That's what I want to know. Yes, it expects an array.
Oh, so you do that to find us, what to start at and what to end at?
Well, I'm going to try it. Because last time, like I said, it took way too long to do that. I think Ramda is in scope. Yeah, it is. And I have not learned about it yet. So, one day.
I haven't actually heard about Ramda.
Yeah, it's a library. I think it's a library. It's the impression I get. But it's built for functional programming. So it's just a little different. I know a couple of the campers are a lot more knowledgeable about it.
And this is included in this little challenge area?
Yeah, I think it's legal. I think the idea is to solve it with vanilla JavaScript first, but Danny Fritz is hopefully posting that for everyone.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Thanks.
But I think I did it with recursion, and I had to make a helper function because you don't want those to change. So, and it took in 2 values, max, and if how did this work? The base case would be min equals max if you start from the bottom and work your way up. So then you just return else. Are you familiar with recursive functions?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Else, you're going to return, no, you don't return there.
You're just going to increase min each time?
Right.
Is that the idea?
Right. Sum equals sum plus min. Oh. Having a brain fart. N plus 1 max. And then you have to call it. Alright, I'm not confident this will run the first time. Maximum call stack size exceeded.
Yeah, there's recursion. I know in one of these I changed the actual function. I don't know if I was supposed to, but I did. Just to do one of the recursion functions.
Oh, which, what are you talking about?
On one of these bonfires, I forget which one, but I had changed the actual, the function that it calls to have like a sum value. I didn't do it. I should have done it your way, but I didn't.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, we're running out of time. I guess we have a few more minutes.
I don't think you're increasing min at all. You're only increasing the sum. Oh wait, never mind, yeah you are. Right there.
Okay, let's talk this through. So you want to start with, let's make sure we're getting the right. Not a number. Okay, so that's helpful. That would probably explain a lot. If at least one of the arguments cannot be converted to a number, the result is not a number. Interesting. I wonder why it cannot be converted to a number. Do you have any thoughts on that? Math for the wins, says Jared.
I'll try and look up the documentation while you're working on it. Because min, if at least one of the arguments cannot be converted, the result is not a number. They're passed in as numbers, though, right?
They're passed in as an array. Oops. Well, we lost him for a second. He'll come back. Are you back? You're back.
Oh, yeah, here I am.
It'll do that sometimes.
The connection here is just awful, actually. Like, our wiring is so horrible at our apartment. It's the worst I've ever seen.
We're in a rural area, and it's funny. Sometimes a day we want the fast internet because we watch TV through the internet. Like, we don't have cable, and some days it's blazing fast, and other days it's like whatever a second. So
yeah, that's how ours is too. We have a cable that goes just like through multiple walls into different apartments. Like, they just drilled a hole and ran a cable right through it. I don't really know why, but like, they run it all the way down to the end and then run it back to us to finish off.
Interesting.
So Jared said you need to use apply to use the collection as arguments.
Okay. Apply null numerae. Okay. Wonder what the null is for. Okay, we got numbers now, so that is good. Thank you. Now we have undefined. So how do we get from there to undefined? Let's see. Sum is undefined. I bet that's what it is.
Maybe just...
Interesting.
What are you returning in the else?
I'm doing the recursive call, which I'm guessing I'm doing wrong, so I'm trying to figure out why that is. Min plus the result of calling this, which will keep returning min until it returns max. And we keep increasing min, so that in theory should work. But how do we store the value? What is in the AutoCAD folder? That is the GitHub logo. I was doing my portfolio page and I needed some images. I would ask the same question though. Have a big AutoCAD sticker on the back of my laptop. Null is for magic, just magic. I agree. Alright, I want to solve this now. You're not returning the result of the recursive call on line 20. You're right. Oh,
probably do it.
Simple.
There we go.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jerry314.
Yeah, sometimes it helps for people just to watch and not try and, figure it out, so you can kind of a bigger picture view of everything.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Here. What time did they say they're going to take it back over?
I don't remember. They asked if I could go for a while, but I'm not going to assume that. I wouldn't mind maybe doing one more, but I do probably need to get back to some other stuff.
Just the diff to arrays left. I think 2 is pretty good though. We got 2 done. Hopefully it helped at least a few people out watching that may be stuck on those.
Oh yeah, definitely. I always enjoy seeing how people attack things. Everyone's different, you know?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen 2 of the same exact answers, which kind of says a lot about the language, I think. There's just so many different ways things could be finished.
I pity whoever does the cash register live on stream.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that will be me. That took me a while to do, and a lot of code.
That one, and what was the very last one? It was the one where you had to find all the possible permutations. It was the permutations one. And I looked at it and I was like, yeah, I took stat in high school. I could do this. And it took me, I don't know, it took 3 days. It was really sad. And I was really sad.
The phone numbers one wasn't too bad. It was just a lot of tedious regex code.
Yes. Yeah, that was. That definitely was.
The map the debris one, I think, is hard until you understand the math, and then it's probably one of the easiest ones on here.
Yeah, I agree. It was keeping track of like the math.pow and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Jim says success and has someone's face. Whose face is that?
I don't know. I don't even know how these people do faces. I only know how to do like robot faces. I don't know how to do that.
Oh, that's a robot. I thought it was an alien. Maybe it's an alien robot.
Or it could be. I don't know.
Jim helped me. Thank you. You are welcome. I'm really glad. Yeah, and there's another face too. There's a black and white face fellow, and I see him come up a lot. I feel very ignorant. I don't know who this is. Yeah, that guy.
If you hover over it, it says what it is, but those words don't mean anything to me. I don't know what that is. Maybe they're people. Oh, actually, I wonder if they're like developers of people that made Twitch and just threw their own face in.
Gray face, no space. Well, I'll learn something new.
Like if you hover over that gray face, it says Kappa.
Huh. Interesting. Alright, well, I guess we can call it quits here, for now. Is that good with you?
Yep, that's fine with me.
Cool. Well, thanks for streaming with me. It was nice to talk to you. I've seen you around the chat room a little bit, but I don't think I've ever gotten to ask you any questions or anything. So
yeah, thanks. This is my first pair programming, so wasn't too bad.
Glad to hear it. So now that you've done it live, every other time is going to seem non-threatening, right?
Yeah. It might be harder though too now that people don't help me.
Yeah, that is really nice. Everyone else, tell me the answer, please. Thank you.
Yeah. If only every day could be like that.
You could probably make that happen. I think it would take a lot of money though.
Yeah, just do a 24/7 live stream.
Yeah. Alright, well, I know that Jason and Quincy said they were going to come back on later, and for all of you guys that watch the Twitch stream, thank you so much for following freeCodeCamp. I know we've got a lot of fun stuff coming up that they're going to build, because there's a ton of courseware still that need to be done. So definitely some good content coming. They are on Twitter, so you can follow freeCodeCamp on Twitter. Oops, not that.
Yep, it looks like Quincy said he'll be back on in about 10 minutes.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Hey, I know those people. But yeah, they're always streaming something. So if you subscribe and favorite, it'll let you know when the stream comes back on. And it was lovely chatting with you all. Wait, you guys gotta stall for 10 minutes. You can't have dead air. That's funny. If you want to listen to me talk with my cold, that's on you. Plug stuff you're working on. Oh, that's kind of fun. We could talk about that. So I know they just finished their first nonprofit project. Chris Barrios, and I don't remember his partner's name. Sorry, partner. I think it's Alex Black. Does that sound right? Anyway, they just finished their project, and that's pretty cool. I think he wrote a blog post about it. I saw it in the chat room somewhere, so maybe that's on Camper News now. Hint, hint, hint. But I got to read it, and it was really neat, so you should check it out. And I know that Michael is working really hard on getting more projects. There's a lot of people interested in what freeCodeCamp is doing. So definitely pay attention and see what comes of that, because I think it's going to be really cool. Thank you. Yeah, Danny Fritz just posted the link, so that's great. What is weatherdata.csv? Well, everyone's having a fun time looking at my computer. My goodness. That was the homework for Mongo. Any other questions? No, I'm just kidding.
Didn't you get added to a nonprofit too? You started that?
Yes, and we're having the first meeting tomorrow, so I don't really know much about it yet, but it's for the Pakistani Freelancers Project, so I'm really excited to hear more about it and see what comes out of that. But there's also people working on their own projects. I know there's some campers. I'm involved with a camper project that helps people schedule meetings when they're in different time zones. So there's that going on. There's always stuff going on in the freeCodeCamp repo. So, yeah, pay attention. And now everyone's starting to ask about my computer, so it's probably time to sign off. But Quincy will be here in a minute, guys, so hang out. Go get a snack. That's a great opportunity to go get a snack. That's all that is. It's not dead air. It's snack time. Everyone go eat. But yeah, Geoff, it was nice talking to you.
Yep. Nice talking to you too. Thanks, chat, for helping us out and sticking around.
Yeah, ditto. All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.
All right, guys, quick commercial break. Thanks for sticking around, and see you again soon.